All right, y'all, we live. We're live. All right, 9 Spiral. Shabbat Shalom to the home team. All right, we're going to take a look at these curses, man, as promised. As see up top, I got the title pulled up, The 10 Plagues and the 10 Commandments. All right, the story, all right? They want to say story. But whose story? Our story, all right? We just mainly interested in these plagues, all right? We just want to know what the hell went on. All right, so we're going to travel back in time to the time of our ancestors, all right? Uh, you see, that's how Passover came about. All right, the Most High turned it into a holiday for us, all right? Or a holy day. You say holiday, my bad. Holy day. My bad, Most High. I'm tripping. Man, let me give me a popsicle. I'll be right back. Let me get right. Let me get right. All right. All right, so all we want is the truth, all right? We want to know what went down, all right? If they're downplaying these curses, all right, we want to know, all right? Because we want to know how terrible is your power, Israel. Let's go.
Moses asked Pharaoh to free the Israelites from slavery.
Mhm.
It had been 400 years since the chosen people of God were under Egyptian judgment.
Mhm.
But the Pharaoh of Egypt's heart was numb, so he refused Moses' request.
All right, now I'm gonna just point something out. Notice off the rip, right? He ain't said nothing about the Most High. Moses, Moses asked for the Most High asked Pharaoh through Moses, or Moshe. Nothing about the Most High, all right? And you can pull up so many of these videos about the 10 plagues or these curses put on the Egyptians. You know, even if they were Egyptians, all right? Because we're coming to find out that it was an Assyrian king who took over Egypt. All right, but out of all these videos, they're gonna play the Most High. That's that's a grave mistake. You don't want to do that. All right, we want to take a glimpse inside the power of Yesharal. All right, let me play this, man, while I eat my popsicle. Them bomb pops, man. Yeah, they got some shit called Wonder something. That shit is, hold on. Y'all gotta get something, I swear. Unicorn Wonder. Man, they got the pink lemonade with it, mixed with the the sweet berry, and a frosty cupcake. Man, what you talking about? Man, what can I say, man? They the bomb. All right, so bomb pop. If y'all want to send me a check, that one was on me. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock.
The faith of the people of Abraham was feeble, but God was beside Moses and his brother Aaron, and they would be God's instruments to fulfill the promise that God had made to Abraham and his descendants.
Now they want to
God
talk about
commanded
this.
Moses to meet Pharaoh. who was navigating the Nile in his beautiful vessel, and to ask again for the freedom of the Hebrew people.
Uh-huh.
After another Pharaoh's refusal, Moses stabbed the river with his rod. The Nile waters became red as blood.
Uh-huh.
The fish died, and a foul odor took over its banks.
That's right.
The Nile waters became undrinkable.
Yep.
The striking scene that Moses performed was not enough to change Pharaoh's will, since his magicians and priests had shown that they were also capable of performing a similar feat.
All right. Not in totality. All right. We do know that a few times the Most High had to harden Pharaoh's heart. You see that? And so all we're simply trying to show you is that the Most High controls both sides. All right. He raises up kings. He removes them. All right. Amma appoints kings. All right. Long life and riches is in the left hand. All right. So again, we're getting a bland story. All right. The Aqua pointed this out to me. I said I was going to do a video on it. All right. Because once we get the uh, breaking down scripture, you'll see. All right. We're going to take a peek into the power, and then we're going to look at primal fear. All right. Let's talk primal fear. What is primal fear? All right. Well, you're going to see it once we get to breaking down these scriptures. All right. Let's read.
The Egyptian people had to drill wells to quench their thirst, and this was the first plague of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh continued unabated, and through Moses and his brother, God caused innumerable frogs to emerge from the Nile and invade the cities. The Egyptian home
Innumerable. You hear that? Not 10,000, not a million, but innumerable. All right. And you're going to see that, man. This was the case with flies and shit, nets. Yo, like they really got that work. All right. And so it is my job to show the tribe. All right. uh TGP. All right, we made a song about it. Want to hear it? It's on SoundCloud. Humbly my approaches, stay in position and separate from lower vibration. For this I have no patience. Remove the precious from the vile, rebuild them, refine them, say the good, often die young, and this word the goody. All right, shout out to my OG Carlo. Having a hard time with my phone. All right, let's read.
homes were overrun by the amphibians. Not even the palaces were safe, and frogs stormed even Pharaoh's bed.
Oh, I know what I'm saying.
Pharaoh declared that he would free.
All right. Now, are we getting, my bad, Shalaki, Popsicle? They're that good. All right, and so are we getting the full story about the frogs? Hmm? Because from what I done read, what me and my team has read, all right, it was a lot more going on with these frogs than what you think. And I'm talking terrible things. All right, and we're just simply talking primal fear. Did the Most High put the Egyptians or whoever in primal, in a state of primal fear. All right, we're gonna find out. Let's go. Let's read.
Would free the people of Moses if he drew back the plague that was sweeping Egypt. And Moses made all the frogs perish. The frogs' bodies piled up in the streets, and the rot spread in the air.
Mm-hmm.
When the worst was over, Pharaoh decided not to free the chosen people, and God ordered Aaron, Moses' brother, to strike the earth. The soil dust became lice that would infest Egypt. The men and animals of Egypt suffered from the infestation of lice.
All right.
The Pharaoh's wizards tried to reproduce such a feat of Aaron, but were ineffective and thought that it could only be God's feat.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pharaoh refused to even listen to his advisors. Therefore, Egypt endured another plague. Clouds of flies took over Pharaoh's kingdom, but the Hebrews' living places were spared by God from the incessant hassles caused by flies. The sovereign's obstinacy caused God to provoke a plague that would cause the death of Egyptian cattle.
Right.
Oxen, horses, asses, and rams died by the thousands.
Kill them all.
But not even this could melt the heart of Pharaoh.
All right.
The Egyptians and their
We wonder why. All right, because if you just keep in mind that your parents above controls both sides, man, and you find that medium, right? And that's that straight and narrow, right? We're just talking the law. That's what a law is. If you find that medium and just follow that straight path, man. Look here, man. I mean, who in the hell do you have to fear? You don't even have to fear your enemies. You don't have to fear no fucking world armies, no presidents, no fucking ambassadors. None of them motherfuckers matter. Why? Because they work for your power. Huh? Let's read.
their animals began to suffer
This
from
fucked up.
scabies,
Look at this shit.
and their bodies were overcome
What?
by blisters. Still, the Pharaoh refused to free the people of Moses.
Baby.
God's representative on earth
Damn.
said that a punishment would fall from heaven on Egypt as
Scabies.
never before. An overwhelming rain of immense hail and lightning terrified Egypt, and many of those who did not take refuge ended up dead.
Yeah, but
The
scabies.
plague of the locusts was the 8th to strike Egypt.
All right.
Locust clouds eviscerated everything that was in their
Locust
path.
clouds.
The Pharaoh sensed that his stubbornness was destroying his kingdom, but his pride prevented him from changing his position. Egypt was then gripped by a black mist, and darkness took over the kingdom of the Pharaoh. For 3 days they lived in darkness.
3 days.
This was the second to last plague that devastated the tormentors of the people of Israel.
All right.
But the greatest plague of all was yet to come.
What's that?
God told Moses that he would impose his last punishment on Egypt. At midnight, he would go through Egypt and take with him the lives of all the firstborn of Egypt.
All right. We're back. We're back. All right. We're in the book of Psalms. Now we want to identify. All right. How terrible the Most High is. I guess what I'm trying to say, we want to identify it in Scripture. And so you'll see this word in multiple verses in the Old Testament. All right. See, that's why they had to make a new. Because in the Old Testament, the Most High standing on business and about serious business. All right. And keeping in mind, right, your parents above has turned their face away from you, Israel. And so these motherfuckers over here having a little fun over in the New Testament, all right? You know, he done gave the earth over to the heathens, all right? So they over here wreaking havoc, all right? Only for a certain amount of time. All right, once we get this, we're going straight into the book of Yasher. All right, we're going to see how terrible your parents above are. I told you, man, even Big Mama Gangster, she in Proverbs laughing at motherfuckers' calamities and shit and mocking when their terror comes near. That's gangster. We also gonna go into the book of Solomon. I take that back. Shalaki. The wisdom of Solomon. All right. We're gonna get it from the Apocryphas. All right. Strictly Apocryphas. Because what do Apocryphas do? What are some of the one of the traits about Apocryphas? All right. They tell more of the truth, or a more broadened story, a narrative. All right. Psalm 47 verse 1 says, "Oh, clap your hands." Because that's exactly what your ancestors was doing back in Mizraim, all right, when they was witnessing the Egyptian go through these curses. Bravo, Most High. Bravo, all right? And you see, even some of them was tripping coming up out of Mizraim. The Most High had to murk uh, a few thousands. No respect of person, all right? And so clap your hands, all right? Now you see that? Your. It ain't talking about the Gentiles. It's talking strictly to you, Yeshua. Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. All ye people, all right? Not peoples, singular. The nation of Yeshua. Shout unto the Most High with the voice of triumph for the Most High, all right? This is just the title, all right? And so they spelled it out for us. For the Most High is what? Terrible. All right? They, your mother and father above, all right, are a great king and queen over all the earth. All right, now that's up to you. All right, if you want to recognize you got a mother above or not. But I'm telling you, it's in your best bet. It is very beneficial. Kid you not. They shall subdue the people under us. You see that? That's why they want you to, hey, let's go, Most High. Kick their ass. All right? We sure enough getting our ass kicked. All right? They shall subdue the people under us. And the nations, under our feet. They shall choose our inheritance for us. You see that? I'm pretty sure this read a little different. The excellency of Yahweh, whom they love. Selah. All right. Hawa, the Most High, is gone up with the shout. The Most High with the sound of a trumpet. All right, y'all. We're in the book of Yasher. All right. The book of Yasher. Um, I wanted to I wanted to do this version right here, or you know what I'm saying, this reading, because I like how the lady reads, right? So you're not gonna have no text up or anything like that, and so you're just gonna have to listen, all right? But I promise you, it's gonna be worth it, all right? So we're trying to find out how terrible is the Most High, all right? What really went on in Mizraim? Are we being told the truth about the curses? All right, these are the things that we're going to find out in the book of Yasher. All right, so you can pause right now and get your popcorn. All right, uh, I think I'm gonna do me a plum or something like that. And so now's the perfect time, because I'm telling you, most high stand on business. And then what the young kids say nowadays, we stand on business. Yo, son. Yo. All right, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of pausing. All right, because we're going to examine, you know what I'm saying, some of these curses or some of these plagues. You know what I'm saying, because they're not telling the truth about them. All right, even with the frogs, they ain't telling all the truth about the frogs. All right, and it's a lot of plagues that they are simply not telling the truth about, because it is simply that scary. It is simply that scary. We're talking primal fear. All right. Oh man, I'm supposed to look up 2 cubits. Oh man, let me see. Give me 1 second. Ain't gonna take that long, y'all. All right, get your popcorn, y'all. You about to pop off. It's Shabbat. Y'all are not gonna want to miss this. So look here. Aki, grab your aqua. Y'all want to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to get this one right here. Aqua. If you're watching it by yourself, grab your Aki. Say, hey, look, man. You gotta check this out. 3 feet. Okay. 2 cubits is 3 feet. All right. It's a reason why I looked that up, y'all. All right, y'all ready? Shit. Woo, woo. Allahu. It's that bad, y'all. I just threw my hands up. Allahu. I got my hands up right now. Allahu. How awesome and terrible art thou works. All right. Having a little trouble with my phone, man. Come on, stop playing, man. All right, now read.
And Pharaoh said to Moses and Aaron,
Uh-huh.
Behold, I have not found the name of your God written in this book,
Why
and
not?
his name I know not.
See that?
And the counselors and wise men answered the king, We have heard that the God of the Hebrews is a son of the wise, the
Wise,
son of ancient
holy
kings.
people, huh?
And Pharaoh turned to Moses and Aaron and said to them, I know not the Lord whom you have declared, neither will I send his people. And they
Alright? Neither will I send his people, Pharaoh or Assyrian king, whoever the fuck it was. Do you know the type of power that you dealing with? Well, guess what, y'all? Moshe got you, because Moshe gonna let Pharaoh know, all right? Now let me quarterback this thing now. Moshe is going to let Pharaoh know off the rip what he getting himself into. Come on now, read.
and they answered and said to the king, The
Uh-huh.
Lord God of gods is his name. And he proclaimed his name over us from the days of our ancestors,
Read.
and sent us, saying, Go to Pharaoh, and
Uh-huh.
say unto him, Send my people, that they
Let him
may
go.
serve me.
Let him go. Read.
Now therefore send us, that we may take a journey for 3 days in the wilderness,
Uh-huh.
and there may be sacrifice to him. For from the days of our going down to Egypt he has not taken from our hands either burnt offering, oblation, or sacrifice.
Now read.
And if thou wilt not send us, his anger will be kindled against thee, and
Kindle.
he will smite Egypt either with the plague or with the sword.
Kill. Now read.
And Pharaoh said to them, Tell me now his power and his might. And they said to him, He created the heaven and the earth,
Uh-huh.
the seas and all their fishes.
What else?
He formed light, created the darkness,
Come on.
caused rain upon the earth and watered it, and made the herbage and grass to sprout.
Read.
He created man and beast and the animals of the forest,
Uh-huh.
the birds of the air and the fish of the sea,
Come on.
and by his mouth they live and die.
See that?
Surely he created thee in thy mother's womb,
You.
and put into thee the breath of life,
And
and
will kill.
reared thee, and placed thee upon the royal throne of Egypt.
All right.
And he will take thy breath and soul from thee, and
Kill.
return thee to the ground whence thou wast taken.
All right.
And
Read.
the anger of the king was kindled at their words, and he said to them, But who amongst all the gods of nations can do this? My
What?
river is mine own,
Oh,
and
really?
I have made it for myself.
Oh,
And
really?
he drove them from him, and he ordered the labor upon Israel to be more severe than it was yesterday
Oh,
and before.
you gonna go that route?
And Moses and Aaron went out from the king's presence, and they saw the children of Israel in an evil condition, for
Uh-huh.
the taskmasters had made their labor exceedingly heavy.
You see that?
And Moses returned to the Lord and said, Why hast thou ill-treated thy people?
Read.
For since I came to speak to Pharaoh what thou didst send me for, he
Uh-huh.
has exceedingly ill-used the children of Israel.
All
And
right.
the Lord said to Moses,
What is that?
Behold, thou wilt see that with an outstretched hand and heavy plagues Pharaoh will send the children of Israel from his hand.
You will.
And Moses and Aaron dwelt amongst their brethren, the children of Israel, in Egypt.
Huh?
And as for the children of Israel, the Egyptians embittered their lives with the heavy work which they imposed upon them.
That's okay.
Chapter 80 of the Book of Jasher.
80.
This
Now read.
LibriVox recording is in the public
All right.
domain.
Come on now. Read.
And at the end of 2 years, the Lord again sent Moses to Pharaoh to bring forth the children of Israel,
Come on.
and to send them out of the land of Egypt.
All right.
And Moses went and came to the house of Pharaoh, and he spoke to him the words of the Lord who had sent him.
What he say?
But Pharaoh would not hearken to the voice of the Lord, and God roused his might in Egypt upon Pharaoh and his subjects, and God smote Pharaoh and his people with a very great and sore plagues.
Now read.
And the Lord sent by the hand of Aaron, and turned all the waters of Egypt into blood,
Uh-huh.
with all their streams and rivers. And when an Egyptian came to drink and draw water, he looked into his pitcher, and behold, all the water was turned into blood.
Blood.
And when he came to drink from his cup, the water in the cup became blood.
Came blood.
And
Read.
when a woman kneaded her dough and cooked her victuals, their appearance was turned to that of blood.
What? What? You see that? You know what? I don't even want to be long on this video. Y'all soak that up. Rewind it back. I don't even know what vixels mean, but Did he say that? Did she say their appearance turned to blood? Their appearance turned to blood. Everything turned into blood. You see that? Mountain, blood. Clothes, blood. Look, we are talking terrible. All right? Really, really terrible. Primal fear. Huh? Read.
And the Lord sent again and caused all their waters to bring forth frogs. And
Mm.
all the frogs came into the house of the Egyptians.
All right, read.
And when the Egyptians drank, their bellies were filled with frogs,
Whoa.
and
And when the Egyptians drank, their bellies were filled with frogs. Wow. So you know what that means, right? Think about it. Because if I'm drinking a cup of water, like I got a cup of water right here, right? If I'm drinking it, surely I'm gonna know it's some frogs in there, and I'm gonna throw it as far as I can, right? But how the hell you drink water, and soon as you drink the water and it goes down to your stomach, frogs appear in your belly and start dancing around. You see that? Only a terrible power can do so. All right, read.
and they danced in their bellies as they dance when in the river.
So enough, read.
And all their drinking water and cooking water turned to frogs.
I told you. Drinking water and cooking water turned into frogs. Huh? What? Y'all thought Yeshua was doing something? JC was doing something? Y'all thought the Christ was doing something, turning water into wine? Nigga, bam, frogs. Ooh, let's cook. Read.
Also, when they lay in their beds, their perspiration bred frogs.
What? Hell no, I gotta get up. No, sir. No, sir. I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing to say. Woo. No, sir. Woo. What? Woo. What? I'm sitting here trying to comprehend sweat as soon as I sweat. Ribbit. The fuck? Read.
Notwithstanding all this, the anger of the Lord did not turn from them, and his hand was stretched out against all the Egyptians to smite them with every heavy plague.
Still not
And he
read.
sent them and smote their dust to lice, and
Huh?
the lice became in Egypt to the height of 2 cubits upon the earth.
2 cubits. All right, I just looked that up. That's 3 fucking feet. Excuse my language. All right. I can curse, man. Y'all, man, stop being so soft, man. Hell, man, the language didn't even exist, man. We was speaking Hebrew. You can't curse in Hebrew. All right, so 3 feet of lice, man. All right. I was up in Cleveland and I couldn't even do 3 feet of snow. 3 feet of lice. What if you fall? You're gonna fall 3 feet deep in lice, all in your hair and all in the beard and shit. Oh man, hey, oh shit. All right, all right. Woo, reap.
on the earth. The lice were also very numerous in the flesh of man and beast. In all the inhabitants of Egypt, also upon the king and queen, the Lord sent the lice, and it
Mm-hmm.
grieved Egypt exceedingly on account of the lice.
All right, reap.
Notwithstanding this, the anger of the Lord did not turn away, and his hand was still stretched out over Egypt.
Steal.
And the Lord sent all kinds of beasts of the field into Egypt, and they came and destroyed all Egypt,
Uh-huh.
man and beast, and trees, and all things that were in Egypt.
All right, reap.
And the Lord sent fiery serpents, scorpions, mice, weasels, toads, together with others creeping in dust,
Wow, reap.
flies, hornets, fleas,
Damn.
bugs,
Reap.
and gnats,
Yeah.
each swarm according to its kind.
Okay.
And all reptiles and winged animals according to their kind came to Egypt, and grieved the Egyptians exceedingly.
Wow,
And the
reap.
fleas and flies came into the eyes and ears of the Egyptians.
Hold on. Man, Most High brought the whole forest. Go, hey man, go on in now. Yo, yo. Most High brought the whole damn forest. All right, reap.
And the hornet came upon them and drove them away,
Mm-hmm.
and they removed from it into their inner rooms, and it pursued them.
Okay,
And
reap.
when the Egyptians hid themselves on account of the swarm of animals, they locked their doors after them, and God ordered the Salunath, which was in the sea, to come up and go into Egypt.
Okay.
And she had long arms, 10 cubits in length of the cubit of a man.
All right, somebody look that up. I think I did at one point in time. I don't quite remember what it was, but the first thing come to my mind is a giant fucking squid, uh, octopus type thing, because it said arms, right? Silent off. It's some sea creature. All right, so the Most High orders this silent off, and notice that it is referred to as a she. All right, so it's a female silent off. And what is it going to do? Huh? Watch this. Watch this. About to get some work in. Watch this. Work.
And she went upon the roofs and uncovered the raftering and flooring and cut them, and stretched forth her arm into the house, and removed the lock and the bolt, and opened the houses of Egypt. Afterward came the swarm of animals into the house of Egypt, and the swarm of animals destroyed the Egyptians, and it grieved them exceedingly.
The fuck? All right. Read.
Notwithstanding this, the anger of the Lord did not turn away from the Egyptians,
Did
and
not.
his hand was yet stretched forth against them.
Get some more.
And
Read.
God sent the pestilence, and the pestilence pervaded Egypt, in the horses and asses, and in the camels, and herds of the oxen, and sheep, and in man. And when the Egyptians rose up early in the morning to take their cattle to pasture, they found all their cattle dead.
See that?
And there remained of the cattle of the Egyptians only 1 in 10, and of the cattle belonging to Israel in Goshen, not one died.
See
And
that?
God sent a burning inflammation in the flesh of the Egyptians, which
Read.
burst their skins, and it became a severe itch in all the Egyptians from the soles of their feet to the crowns of their heads.
Read.
And many boils were in their flesh, that their flesh wasted away until they became rotten and putrid.
All right. Who think you playing with?
Notwithstanding this,
Read.
the anger of the Lord did not turn away, and his hand was still stretched out over all Egypt.
Still.
And the
Read.
Lord sent a very heavy hail, which smote their vines and broke their fruit trees, and dried them up that they fell upon them.
Read.
Also every green herb became dry and perished. For a mingling fire descended amidst the hail, therefore the hail and the fire consumed all things.
Nice. Read.
Also men and beasts that were found abroad perished of the flames of fire, and of the hail, and all the young lions were exhausted. And the Lord sent and brought numerous locusts into Egypt, the chazal, salam, chargol, locusts each of its kind, which devoured.
See that? You don't get that in the King James. 3 different kind of damn locusts. And she named them, huh? It's important, my tribe, that we go back through scripture and recognize how great, awesome, and terrible your power is. Read.
devoured all that the hail had left remaining.
Uh-huh.
Then the Egyptians rejoiced at the locusts, although they consumed the produce of the field, and they
Oh,
caught them in abundance and salted them for food. And the Lord
protein.
turned a mighty wind of the sea, which took away all the locusts, even those that were salted, and thrust.
Oh, you thought you was gonna get some protein in? Oh man, we just throw some sea salt on these motherfuckers and grill them. Mosai said nope. Sent the wind, took all the locusts away, even the ones that are salted. Cause y'all probably was out there uh, 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 sauteing a whole bunch of them and trying to feed uh, uh, you know 20 people. So they probably had locusts already salted in bags and shit. You see what I'm saying? Most High said what? No. No. Read.
Thrust them into the Red Sea.
Come on.
Not one locust remained within the boundaries of Egypt.
See that?
And God sent darkness upon Egypt, that the whole land of Egypt and Pathros became dark for 3 days, so that a man could not see his hand when he lifted it to his mouth.
That's inches away. And I keep telling y'all that same type of darkness is what's gonna take place when the Most High come back. Deep darkness shall cover the people, huh? But the Most High light shall arise over you. That's why you got Gentiles running and coming to your light. We keep telling y'all it ain't gonna be no light on that day, man. So how in the hell the Russia going to war with the U.S. and China and go jump in? What is y'all talking about, man? Most High said no light, deep darkness, as to where you can't even see your hand if you raised it to your mouth. She said to your mouth. I got my hand right here. That's damn. Wow. Read.
At that time died many of the people of Israel who had rebelled against the Lord, and who would not hearken to Moses and Aaron, and believed not in them that God had sent them.
Watch this.
And who had said, We will not go forth from Egypt, lest we perish with hunger in a desolate wilderness, and who would not hearken to the voice of Moses.
See that?
And the Lord plagued them in the 3 days of darkness, And the Israelites buried them in those days without the Egyptians knowing of them or rejoicing over them.
Wow.
And the darkness was very great in Egypt for 3 days, and any person who was standing when the darkness came remained standing in his place. And
You see how dark it was? It's just like somebody cutting out the lights, man. What you gonna do? Man, sit down. Just tuck your head. Talking about give me one of them Egyptian names. Ramses. Ramses. You okay? I'm all right. What you doing, man? Just sitting here. Read.
and he that was sitting remained sitting, and he that was lying continued lying in the same state,
Uh-huh.
and he that was walking remained sitting upon the ground in the same spot.
Come.
And this thing happened to all the Egyptians until the darkness had passed away. And
Uh-huh.
the days of darkness passed away, and the Lord sent Moses and Aaron to the children of Israel, saying, Celebrate your feast and make your Passover.
See
For
that?
behold, I come in the midst of the night among all
Uh-oh.
the Egyptians, and
Uh-oh.
I will smite all their firstborn, from
Kill.
the firstborn of man to the firstborn
Kill.
of a beast. And
Uh-huh.
when I see your Passover, I will pass over you.
Read.
And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron.
Uh-huh.
Thus did they in that night.
All right, read.
And it came to pass in the middle of the night that the Lord went forth in the midst of Egypt, and smote all the firstborn of the Egyptians, from the first.
See that? The Most High went forward. This is personal. Read.
The firstborn of man to the firstborn of beast.
Uh-huh.
And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry throughout Egypt in that night,
Show
for
enough.
there
Read.
was not a house in which there was not a corpse.
Uh-huh.
Also the likenesses of the firstborn of Egypt, which were carved in the walls of their houses, were destroyed and fell to the ground.
Terrible. You mean to tell me the Most High destroyed even the records of the firstborn? Pictures, you name it. Wow. Read.
Even the bones of their firstborn who had died before this, and whom
Huh?
they had buried in their houses, were raked up by the dogs of Egypt on that night, and dragged before the Egyptians, and cast before them.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Wow. All right, y'all. Let's jump into y'all check it out, man. It's, Yashir. So we're in the high 70s to the 80s as far as chapter. All right, man, we're gonna jump into the wisdom of Solomon. All right. Con. All right, we're in the Apocrypha Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Now we want to get some drop on this deep darkness. You keep hearing nine say, this darkness that's coming when the Most High come back. All right, it's gonna be the same type of darkness. All right, that was displayed in Mizraim. All right, dealing with our ancestors. All right, in Ezekiel, he said the same way with a mighty hand, with the outstretched arm. All right, and with fury poured out. All right, I'm gonna bring you out from among the people. What is this darkness, 9? Isaiah chapter 60. Arise, arise, I take that back. I ain't got my glasses on. Shalaki. Arise and shine, for your light, Yeshua, your light has come. And the glory of the Most High is risen upon you. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. Ding, 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 ding. All right, clue. Keep that in mind. And darkness shall cover the United States of America. No, no, no. That's not what the Most High says here. In verse 2. And darkness shall cover China and Russia. No, 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 no. To the camp Israelites. That ain't what the Most High says. All right, so who in the hell is going to war in darkness, man? It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and deep darkness, the people. But the Most High will arise over you, and his glory will be seen upon you, right? And the Gentiles shall come to your light, because you're the only thing shining. All right, and kings to the brightness of your rising. All right, so let's find out some more about this deep darkness. Let's go. My bad, read.
For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed.
Uh-huh.
Therefore unnurtured souls have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they, being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence.
Huh? They, meaning the oppressors, all right, the Egyptians, if you will, being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of what? Darkness. See that? That's that deep darkness, huh? That's that darkness as to where you can't see shit. Everything is black. What? What the hell? What? Read.
For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness,
See that?
being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Apparitions, all right. Apparitions is something like ghost or something, if you will, to that liking. Now, when you precept, like I said, man, the same words start jumping out to you. All right. They were scattered under what? A darkness, dark. Read on.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear.
Nope.
But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances.
I read.
No power of the fire might give them light.
None.
Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
See that? Read.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful.
Very dreadful.
For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
Huh? It's dark. So you hearing shit, that don't even make sense to you, all right? The Most High made the damn beast come out. So you're not only just sitting in the dark talking about, hey, Ramses, you ain't got no peanuts? No. It's that darkness like, oh, what was that? Oh, shit, what was that? Oh, what was You see what I'm saying? We talking primal fear. Let's rock.
As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace.
Facts,
for they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear.
So all your artificers and your magicians were what? You know, the ones that threw down they rods and it turned into snakes. And Aaron's rod, he threw his down and it ate, you know, the other two rods. We talking those. All right. Themselves were sick themselves of fear and worthy to be laughed at. See that? Read.
Worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided.
Primal fear. They died of fear. You see that? They died. And so they would, they thought they was some Balaams or some shit like that. They thought they was some good magicians and shit. You see what the Most High did? They died of fear. Huh? You think the Most High ain't looking at you? Huh? Alright, this is methodical, man. This is how the Most High is moving. This is the power, the terrible wonders of their power. Let's go. Read.
For wickedness, condemned by her own witness, is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience, always forecasteth grievous things.
Now read.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succours which reason offereth.
I read.
And the expectation from within, being less, counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Now read.
But they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them. For a sudden fear, and not looked for, came upon them.
Wow.
So then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars.
Shut up in a prison without iron bars. Deep darkness. All right, and this shit right here, hold on, man. We're partly vexed. Hold on. Okay. But they sleep in the same sleep that night. This was indeed intolerable. All right, intolerable. And which came upon them out of the what? Bottom of inevitable Sheol. Hell, Hades. All right, so you had monstrous apparitions. All right, replace this word with ghost. Monstrous apparitions. All right, they came where? Out of Sheol. Wow. Where's that in the KJV? All right, read.
For whether he were husbandman or shepherd or a labourer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that necessity which could not be avoided.
Could not be avoided.
For they were all bound with one chain of darkness.
Darkness. Deep darkness. That's the same shit that's gonna come back when the Most High. You see what I'm saying? All right. Nobody never seen this darkness before. Except for, you know what I'm saying, you were in Mizraim at that time. You ain't seen this type of darkness before. Where monstrous damn ghosts are coming up from Sheol. Read.
Whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or a running that could not be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains.
See that?
These things made them to swoon for fear. For the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor.
All right.
Over them only was spread an heavy night, an image of that darkness which should afterward receive them. But yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness.
All right, Con. All right, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all have a wonderful Shabbat. I always enjoy going in the scripture, man, and breaking it down with you. All right, you can see how terrible the Most High's power is, and also this deep darkness, all right, that's coming back. All right, till next time, 9 Spiral.